from this bracket right here. A little bit of a shakeup though. These two not usually playing here at Fusion, and now we get to see what they can do on a little bit of a bigger stage, especially with how good Stretch looked up against Concon, both his Sora and his Min Min. But Zomba's coming off that win at Hold the Line, as you are very aptly familiar with. Let's see how he can ride that momentum.
Yes, sir, and it's also worth noting, for those who are just stopping by for the first time here at Fusion, that Zomba is a regular appearance here, even though he is from New York. Stretch also making very often appearances in Fusion brackets. However, seeing these two run into each other in winners semis, it happens, seldomly so. Starting on small battlefield, though, this is a more recent trend that we're starting to see with a lot of players.
Yeah, I feel like with this new biplat layout and kind of an acknowledgement of counterpicks and stage lists as a whole, that discussion everlasting, players are starting to realize some of the weaknesses of PS2 and just how frustrating it can be to play against a character like R.O.B on that stage. So small battlefield, a little bit better of a pick for Stretch, and certainly not a problem for Zomba at all, as we would see him regularly go here as a means for it. And we see that stock lead right at the start because of how comfortable he is on that stage and how comfortable he looks Stretch with this edge guard that just keeps going. R.O.B's almost out of fuel.
Yeah, no, this has been a fantastic play from Stretch, and the down smash covers the kill. Amazing play from top to bottom, and I think a good showing of why small battlefield is a good stage for Lucina as a whole, because you don't have to worry about all of that lateral base platform to traverse compared to PS2. So even though R.O.B can cover it well, Lucina doesn't have to have as much as she has to worry about, but Zomba's been doing a good job putting the damage.
Yeah, and great DI from Stretch to avoid the finishing blow that could have taken his stock. That arm rotor, always a devastating threat. And he's making Zomba work for his kills ever so slightly. Coming in here with 68, these falling up airs, super clutch. A very apt starter on a big body like R.O.B.
Trying to put that pressure fighting out from the corner, but Zomba has such a good sense of where to control with the tools that R.O.B has. You saw perfect spacing from covering roll distance with down tilt, and down tilt is going to be doing a ton for covering that base platform.
Here comes Stretch, trying to hold onto this stock ever so like they're jumping up air, but now he's lacking all of his resources, but he still held onto that jump for as long as possible. 170. And that throw, yeah, up throw's gonna kill that one, especially with the platform 2 boost.
Yes, sir. One thing that R.O.B definitely doesn't lack is kill options.
No.
Plenty of setups and plenty of raw moves and throws as necessary. Given that Zomba does really well consistently keeping it down until he does opponents, it's always a good look for him when he's playing R.O.B, but Stretch is doing a great job of keeping up the pace.
Yeah, and this would be a pretty solid start from Stretch, but waiting a little bit too long as that top comes out. A Dolphin Slash, but not finding the prime hit. He has to try to recover high, going for the air dodge and just recover. Stretch's recovery routes has been so good, which is absolutely necessary against a player like Zomba, who's always looking to strike and always looking to linger out there with that edge guard. But he just needs to find this damage.
One of the things that's always separated Stretch from the pack when it comes to comparing good Lucinas is how well he can make a stock last. And even if he's playing against an aggressive opponent who's going to kill him fairly early, he's going to keep that pace. I think that's a really good mark of a player, especially when you consider the level of competition he's consistently throwing himself against.
Oh, I love the reaction from Stretch to go back to ledge, but this is 177 now, and without his jump. Okay, Zomba.
Zomba having a little fun because he knows he earned it.
Yeah, they're buds. Stretch often giving Zomba rides to places, like helping each other out as two players from the same sub-region within the same macro region are one to do.
Yep, Staten Island always looking out for itself. Very well-connected area. And given how frequently these two do go to Fusion, it's of no surprise to see them have a little bit of fun while still keeping it competitive.
Oh yeah, that was a great game. Just being able to see how well Stretch is able to utilize Lucina's full kit in ways that are a little bit more unconventional, to say the least. He's really hunting for things like falling up air as starters, and he's trying to make combos from a character that isn't known for her robust combo game.
It shows really good mastery of the character, because it's not just like a good player piloting Lucina, it's a mark of a good Lucina.
Right. It's mark of both even, right?
Yeah. Like, he's a solid player, but he also has profound understanding of his character's kits, even if it is a minimal kit.
All right. The funny song change to the banjo music. I like this one though. This is a pretty good one.
It sets the mood.
Yeah. We're in for a clown show with R.O.B's infinite X Factor coming in clutch, potentially getting a kill right off that late nair, but without chop in hand, he couldn't extend it just enough, and giving Stretch a chance to hold ledge if Zomba doesn't just decide to avoid it completely.
Yeah, as good as Lucina can cover ledge options, she does have to commit to how she's going to cover it, and she just doesn't have the tools to be in two spaces at once.
Nice delay from Stretch and aggressive getting on that instead of just hopping on with shield, and the overshoot as well from Stretch. Good stuff on his part to try and poke away Zomba when he was going for these dash attacks. But in the same vein, good stuff from Zomba, who had been frequently coming up with up airs and coming up trying to shark Lucina's landings and shark Stretch while he's in midair, covering that air dodge beautifully with this stock lead.
All the options that Zomba tries to cover once he starts throwing out those up tilts, it's a relatively large move and it's a relatively quick move, but of course you see Stretch responding quite often with air dodge. Zomba's consistently punishing that in multiple ways, but Stretch has been doing an equally good job of punishing out those aggressive overextensions from Zomba.
Another neutral get up as he gets on with Nair 1, but is unable to follow on the platform. That could have been a lot of damage. Yet that up tilt comes out as an anti-air. Stretch just trying to hold steady, and underneath these platforms, that's a ton of damage. I love the reset on Stretch as well, being able to actually make something out of that up tilt starter instead of just getting the one up air and resetting to neutral.
He's trying new things. You gotta continue to push that anti-meta when you're figuring how often you fight off against R.O.B and a R.O.B of Zomba's caliber. So getting a bit creative yields you pretty big rewards.
Especially since we may have had our last patch for Smash Ultimate. Now is the time to push the meta, and I mean, R.O.B players are certainly always pushing their punish game if they get the chance.
Big punish game.
On a big character.
It's pretty big.
Pretty big.
But seriously, though, Zomba does a really good job of mixing up how he's trying to find punishes, be it through more traditional methods. And again, Stretch is really good on making sure that Zomba can't get too greedy with these overextensions. Tracing landings has been something Stretch is consistently good with.
Yeah, he's been covering those air dodges pretty cleanly. A couple of up smash kills, which aren't as frequent for Lucina, but oh, and the gyro extensions. That shows not only practice with your character, but practice in a matchup like this, which makes a ton of sense.
Man after my own heart. You know how I always talk about how you need to know how to use an item if you're regularly fighting against a character that spawns an item.
Ooh. And you need, just a mark of Smash, you need to learn how to cover platform options and that roll away, and even just almost every option on that platform except for jump off of it was covered by that back air, hitting the sweet spot on the roll away while covering with a mid and late hitboxes on the standard mid section and the roll in as well. Just covering that entire space with a really big safe button. R.O.B can do a lot of things on a small stage and always has so much presence in every match.
It's the kind of character that has a good set of tools for every range to fight in. I think Zom just does a really good job of showcasing what can be done in the mid to close range. When you see how he controls space with gyro and laser, like it's hard to approach in on a character like that. You have to really pick and choose how you're going to move around, and a character like Lucina only has so many options to adjust those movements. And I think Stretch did a really good job of piloting around a lot of the more typical setups that Zomba goes for, and you can accredit that both to Stretch's mastery of the character and experience fighting Zomba. But tonight it didn't seem like it was enough. I do hope to see more Stretch later on in tonight.